right, you ready? All right, so why are we out here today?
Because this is the Vietnam moment for this generation. Our generation had Vietnam, and it engaged us as citizens in being responsible and telling the government when they're wrong. And this is a time to tell the government they're wrong.
Sure. And what are we trying to achieve specifically today?
I think it's just that we own the streets and that we have the right to make change. The politicians are doing nothing. It's great to see the next generation doing something, and we need to, as older people, stand up and be a part of it.
Is there any specific change you'd like to see?
I'd like to see assault weapons off the streets. They're weapons of war. They should not be allowed in the hands of ordinary people.
Like what are like assault weapons exactly?
Anything that was designed as a military weapon to kill. I mean, personally, I'd be glad to see all the guns off the streets, period. But at a minimum would be assault weapons.
Sure. I mean, but like, is there a certain characteristics of an assault weapon that are different from other guns or something?
Yeah, you know, to me an assault weapon would be something where you can go into a public area and kill a lot of people in about 3 or 4 minutes, and that's what we've seen.
All semi-automatics then, like handguns and things like that?
Yeah, you know, like here's what I would like to see. If they think that you can arm teachers with handguns and stop a person coming into a school with an assault weapon, then I say what we should do is arm all the SWAT teams with handguns and no body armor and see who comes out alive.
Sure, I don't think they would say it's ideal, but I think they would say it gives you at least a fighting chance, doesn't it? We've seen cases where that's happened, where people have had their handguns or their concealed carry, handgun sidearm, and they've stopped people from doing things, even with AR-15s.
Yeah, you may see that occasionally, but again, ask a SWAT team if they would prefer to go in with handguns and no body armor and see what they say.
I know, but no one's saying it's ideal. They're just saying it's better than not having anything.
No, it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, I grew up in a generation, we didn't have these kinds of shootings in schools or in public because those kind of weapons weren't available.
Oh, of course they were. They still exist. They didn't exist back in 1970?
They didn't exist on the streets and in the hands of ordinary citizens.
Why is that?
Because they weren't allowed. They hadn't been.
They were legal. The assault weapons ban didn't start until 1994.
No, but it's become much more available.
They were available back then too. Plenty of people owned, AR-15s and all kinds of semi-automatic M14s, all kinds of semi-automatics.
You can trace the numbers of deaths and the numbers of mass to the connection of the availability of weapons.
Well, the murder rates in the 1970s and 1980s were actually way higher than they were today, even the 1990s. We're actually in one of the safest periods in human history right now.
You represent the NRA?
Absolutely not.
Well, you have your opinion, I have mine, I guess.
No, but it's not an opinion. It's fact. Like, you can look at the FBI numbers on murders that we've gone down by about 50% since 1990.
But we're not safer, are we?
Well, statistically we are.
Do you feel safe going to a movie theater?
Yeah.
Do you feel safe going to a rock concert?
I don't really go to rock concerts, but I feel safer than...
Would you have felt safe in Las Vegas at that concert?
Well, I wouldn't feel safe where someone's shooting at me, no.
No, well, that's basically where we're at.
Sure, but I'm saying overall murders have gone down, though. You dispute this somehow.
Well, you might be right about that, but the chance that you're going to get shot in a movie theater or a school or a public place has gone up, in my view.
It's still, it's rarer than getting struck by lightning.
No, I'll take my chances with the lightning any day.
You think it's more likely to be in a school shooting than being struck by lightning?
Oh yeah.
Well, but it's not.
Yeah, because
we know how many of each happen.
Because I can do something about the lightning. I can't do anything about the school shooting.
What can you do about the lightning?
I can stay out of doors when there's a lightning storm. I can go into a building. How am I going to avoid in a public situation? I mean, in a lot of states, it's legal to carry those weapons in the public, right?
Yeah.
So how do I avoid that?
But do you feel like there's more murders in those states where like guns are more easily available than it is in states where they have stricter laws?
I haven't seen a whole lot of mass shootings in New Jersey at this point.
Well, we just had, wasn't there one like in Maryland recently, or there was like a shooting there, and then a lot of the shootings have happened in California, for example. You're
not going to convince me.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just asking questions.
Well, I'm not sure where you're going.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, except we're right next to the evil empire, and there it is. And if you think that that represents America, then I think we need a different America.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So do you work for Elon Musk?
No, I just like that. I like the company. I bought it from his boring company. You know.
Yeah, no,
he
I
was
know.
selling like 20,000 of them, or 50,000 of them, and I bought one of them.
Yeah, well, it's too bad.
What's too bad?
That, I mean, I hope that he doesn't support the kind of things that you seem to support.
Oh, I'm just wearing the hat. It's not because
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
not
know.
supporting anything. I'm just asking people questions.
No, you're putting up straw men.
Not sure. I interviewed those pro-gun people, and I asked them opposition questions as well. So I just asked people.
So where are you going with this? What's it for?
I go to political rallies and stuff, and I ask people like basically tough questions, I guess. So no matter what side they're on. I went to the pro-life event, and I was asking them
So where are
tough
you
questions.
at personally?
I personally
You don't have an opinion.
I do have an opinion, but I don't really disclose it for the most part.
Well, you know, in this situation, if you don't have an opinion, you're part of the problem, in my view.
Is it one of those like if you're not with us, you're against us sort of things?
When it comes
That's what Bush said back
to
in
my
the day.
life or my kids' lives or my grandkids' lives, yeah, if you're not with us, you're against
Well,
us.
that's what Bush said with the terrorism. He
Well,
said the
you know, I
same
wasn't
thing.
with Bush, but I'm with the people who say if you're not willing to take a stand on guns, then you're a coward
Well, I do have a
and
stance.
you're part of the problem.
I do have a stance, but yeah.
Well, you better be public with that.
I'm pretty public.
Well, what is your
generally,
stance then? I'm asking you.
I just-
Here,
I
we're
support-
filming.
sure.
What is your stance?
I support more freedom, generally speaking.
Tell me again. What do you support?
More freedom,
What's that mean?
less restrictions, more freedom.
So less restrictions on guns?
Yes, for the most part.
You're part of the problem.
I don't think so. Just based,
Well, I know you don't
based
think
on
so.
all the
It's
statistical
obvious.
evidence I've seen, I don't think that's the case.
I would hope that none of your kids or relatives or friends are ever killed by gun violence.
I would hope the same for you as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I hope
But
that.
we're not going
in
to get
general.
there with your attitude.
I disagree. I think
Well, I know you
the
disagree.
two safest states in America are New Hampshire and Vermont, and they have the least restrictive gun laws in the entire country. I think the problem is more than the guns. It's way more, cultural, the drug war, all those other policies are way more influence than gun laws.
You are part of the problem.
I want to end the drug war. I want there to be less gang violence, less drug violence, and I want people to actually have
And you
their
want
lives
to do
saved.
that with more guns on the streets.
No, I want there to be more freedom. If it leads to more guns, then that's
bullshit.
fine.
The whole thing of more freedom is bullshit.
I don't think it's bullshit at all. I think freedom is really important. In fact, where I've seen gun control laws go wrong, it's led to a lot of mass genocide, for example, and I don't support that.
Where have you seen that?
Nazi Germany,
Oh,
Cambodia,
Give me a break.
Soviet Union,
Give me a break.
China.
And it's a bad comparison. Being from New England, it's a different type of thing.
I just know the first gun controls in the United States were to control slaves, and then after that it was to control blacks and minorities. Where we see even today, we still see remnants of that. In the cities where there are the highest percentage of blacks and Hispanics is where you have the most gun control laws. Generally, I see gun control laws as very racist. Personally, that's what I've seen.
Well,
it's been used to control minorities.
Let me just say, with all due respect, you're an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
Yes.
Why do you
can
think
film
that?
too?
Why do you think I'm an asshole?
Because you're infringing on my rights to live freely in this country.
What about Martin Luther King's right to live? He was denied a concealed carry permit because the sheriff said he didn't have good moral character and good cause. I think everybody here would agree that Martin Luther King had good moral character and good cause, but they denied it because they're racist against black people, and he died.
You love a confrontation, don't you?
No, I'm just being honest because I honestly think gun control laws are racist, and you calling me an asshole for that?
You're here today for
is fucked up.
confrontation.
I'm not at all.
Martin Luther King had a gun on the night that he would kill. Would he have lived through that? No,
but I think he had.
The guy was across the street with a rifle.
He had the right to, I think.
It wouldn't have helped him. It wouldn't have protected
Many
him.
people think the government killed him, which is also, if you give the government all the guns,
You are making straw men arguments.
You don't think the first gun control laws in this country were racist?
I don't think that Martin Luther King's failure to get a gun permit, which I don't agree
You think it
with,
was okay?
would not have saved his life.
Asking me questions, I'm
you
answering
love
them
a
in an honest
confrontation,
way.
and if
That's what a
I'm
straw
sorry,
man
I'm even
argument
started to talk with you because you're
That's
such
fine.
an asshole.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm not going to call you names, but I appreciate it.
No, thank you. I welcome.